Hello and welcome to BTF 33. That's the 33rd episode of the Back to Football podcast, the number one podcast for people who probably should talk about something other than football. Now, we are joined by Greg this week.
Hello.
We're joined by Levi.
Hello.
And rejoining us in the studio here is John Miller.
Back in the house. Back in the house from my exploits abroad.
So let's talk about that then straight away. You've been to Disneyland Paris.
Yes, indeed.
How was it?
It was very good. It was very good. You guys should. Has anyone been?
Yeah, I did when I was about 14.
14? That's actually
14.
quite old. I went when I was like
School trip.
6, 7.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's been a while.
French.
I've not been to Disneyland Paris. No,
I've been to Florida.
I've been to Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, and California.
Sorry.
Not to come across as overprivileged here or something, but I'm so of a Disney fan. Like, I'm not that into the whole Disney universe.
Yeah,
But,
same.
yeah. You cuddle Mickey and Minnie?
I did try, despite my efforts. I was unable to get a cuddle. In fact, they came to breakfast. They do a character breakfast, and they go around and they get a cuddle and a photo with all the kids, and they sign their autograph. So I got a selfie with Mickey.
Oh yeah,
got a group selfie, which is quite solid. Yeah, but no. I don't know if we're talking about this. No cuddle.
No cuddle. Okay. Did they eat breakfast? Did they eat anything?
Yeah, a few bacon there. Piglet was there, so a few slices of bacon.
Crying on a corner.
Show.
Yeah, lovely. Levi, you've also been away in the last week since the last show. Where have you been?
Yes, I have. I went over to Amsterdam and I watched Stormzy at his concert on Saturday.
Big
Michael. Really, really good show. So if anyone gets a chance, I'd definitely recommend going to it. But really, really good. The mosh pits were crazy as well.
Yeah, I've seen.
Was it?
He's great.
What was the best track that he played during? Well, like the crowd reaction at least to the track.
The crowd reaction, probably Vossi Bop.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It was his last track that he played for it. Everyone was chanting for it right at the end. And then he played it and it opened up into like a massive mosh pit. And everyone just bouncing off each other. Sweaty arena. But,
What was the split between sort of UK fans like yourself that had travelled over? And
there was quite a few.
Dutch
There
fans.
was quite a few UK mates, but I think when you go to a concert almost abroad, I feel like
fully abroad almost.
Almost abroad. Dip your toe in.
The crowd's different. The crowd's different, like massively different. I feel like the UK fans obviously are like riled up, a bit rowdy, so you could tell who the rowdy ones were. They were usually from the UK, and the Dutch ones were a little bit more
Reserved?
subdued.
For a reason.
Subdued. So
we all know why that is.
but yeah, we were diving straight in, obviously mosh pits. But yeah, he was really, really good. And at the end of his show as well, which we actually quite liked. Actually, he came across the front and said hello to like everyone across the front that was there. So it was quite nice.
Nice. And yeah, enjoyed the trip. Otherwise, you're only back this morning, which is Tuesday morning. We'll be honest about that. This uploads every Wednesday at 7 p.m. But yeah, as we're recording, you only just got back this morning.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're tired. You throwing in an excuse, or you're all right? You're refreshed.
I'm all right. I had a good sleep when I got back as well. So I'm happy. So I'm good. I'm raring to go.
Any extracurricular activities while you're there?
None
Cycling.
whatsoever.
It's a bit of cycling.
Cycling.
Yeah. So you're on a pair of clogs on Instagram.
Everywhere.
And Frank Museum. Okay, so on the show today... Oh, actually, but Greg, good week?
Just left them out.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, I didn't go anywhere special. Hectic, busy.
He got a cup card.
Actually, we went to... You say we didn't go anywhere. We went to Crystal Palace game
Yeah,
on
we
Saturday.
did. Really good game. Newcastle and Crystal Palace.
13th versus 14th thriller.
Yeah, 6-pointer.
A 6-pointer, yeah.
Sounded like a good game.
Do you know what? It was a great game. It was one of the best kind of low-scoring games I've seen. The goal itself, Patrick Van Arnholt with a
beautiful
bit of a
kick.
worldie, right on half-time, and then there was some action towards the end of the game as well, wasn't there? With Wilf Zaha getting someone sent off. Can't even remember the name of the player.
Lazaro. He's from Inter, on loan from Inter.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, good little player.
Thoughts on Selhurst Park?
Yeah, I really like it as a stadium. I think that it's definitely got a really good atmosphere. It's the first time I've been. I've always sort of wanted to go. Crystal Palace is sort of like a team that I've always appreciated. I felt like it was really good. That, interestingly enough, now in the two teams meeting, that is the 7th goal out of over 100 attempts on goal now. Only...
Stat
7.
guy.
Yeah, these
Stat
are the only goals that have been scored against them are set pieces, and that was the 7th set piece. Yeah,
and what a set piece it was.
It was beautiful.
Palace missed a couple of absolute. I don't know if you saw the highlights at all. Probably you didn't, Levi. But,
I haven't. No.
But there was a couple of sitters missed in that game. But
it was like watching a Dubravka highlight compilation on YouTube as well. The man's insane.
What a
7 million he cost them.
I think he's better than Alisson, to be honest.
Whoa.
That's a great shot. That's an absolutely great shot.
Blimey.
That's a BTF 31 throwback for you there. Please go back and watch it. So on today's show, we will be... Greg has a little quiz for us related to Love Island, which obviously concluded this week. We'll talk very briefly about the final of that. So you probably didn't see the final, Levi?
I haven't watched the final. I know the outcome of the final.
You know who won?
But I did catch Thursday night's episode.
Okay.
So I'm about 2 days out of date.
Yeah. And John?
Yeah, watched it. Got the prediction right. Finn and
blimey. Yeah.
Someone else said that.
It weren't me. I said Shauna and whoever she was with.
That didn't quite work out, did it? Well, kiss of death. But yeah, I said that Shanice and Luke T would win. They came runners-up in the end, which, I mean, thoughts then on... So, Greg, you kind of stopped watching it a bit for the last week of the show, but from what you did see, who would you have preferred to win out of Finn and Paige and Shanice and Luke T?
I did like Shanice and Luke T. I feel like there's an added element of Paige and Finn have been... Paige was, I think, one of the first of the two girls in the villa in the first place, so very, very original cast there. And Finn, as soon as he came in, I think he almost straight away went into Paige. So I think that they were solid from the beginning. I think that's where their following come from. Also, I think that when Shauna came out, she got a massive push on social media for Paige to win. I think she was the reason that she got over 1 million followers on Instagram. And I think that will be the big contributing factor to that. Over Shanice and Luke T, of course. Shanice had a little bit of an off and on thing with... Connor with a G. That didn't happen, and then a couple of others. So I think that it makes sense. I wasn't surprised to see that win, really.
No, me neither. John, thoughts?
Yeah, I wanted Luke T and Shanice to win. The whole sort of Disney thing
Clearly.
that was class when he asked her to be his girlfriend. And the poem that he did at the end, I just thought he brought quite a lot to the show, but can't argue with Paige and Finn winning it.
Do you think Scottish people are the most mobilised voting group in the UK? With the SNP and their referendum on in and out status of the UK, was it?
UK, Indie Ref.
Indie Ref
and the Temple of Doom.
But I do think, Scottish people do turn out and vote these days when there's an opportunity. So maybe that played something into it.
Also, the link with Lewis Capaldi, whether it's true or not, I think Paige is subconsciously...
And X Factor.
And
He's got talent.
Do you know Luke T was on? I think his mum was on X Factor or something, because there's a clip. There was a clip going around.
I saw that.
And he talks exactly the same. The same.
You mentioned Lewis Capaldi there. I do feel like I need to put in an editorial note here into the show. It's a Gerry Cinnamon update. Obviously, 2 shows back, we did a run round of the studio of had anyone basically even heard of Gerry Cinnamon, who was in the lineup for Reading and Leeds Festival, second to only Liam Gallagher on the Saturday of the Reading Festival. At the time, none of us knew who Gerry Cinnamon was.
We sort of berated him a little bit
for
being non-existent.
And I must add now that I've listened, and Lisa can attest to this in our house. Basically, every day I've woken up and gone, Alexa, play Gerry Cinnamon.
Well, I can attest to this because every time I've walked into your office, I see on Spotify Gerry Cinnamon
Yeah.
best of is up on the screen.
So-
He's become a bit of a fan of it.
I've
Yeah.
become a
He's
big
a cinnamon.
fan. I mean, that's the only drawback, I think, that he does sound like a Pop-Tart flavour.
Yeah.
But
Cherry cinnamon.
mate, he is a brilliant artist. And yeah, I really would recommend all BTF subscribers hit that subscribe link below the video to listen to, particularly Cantor
That's his well-known
and
one, isn't
Belter. Yeah, they're the two big ones.
I'm equally as clueless as I was in the episode when he was first mentioned. As I am
Do you know
now
what
as
was?
well.
Do you know what was the turning point for me? Is that he is going to be supporting two of my favourite bands from when I was a kid on their American tour, Dropkick Murphys and Rancid. He's supporting them, which is a crazy coincidence that we talked about him, and now that's happening.
So now you have to like him.
So now I have to like him by
Exactly.
association, because
Yeah.
that's the way that society works in 2020. Let's then do Greg's quiz if you are ready,
Absolutely. Mate.
and I'll let you kind of explain how this is going to work.
All right, so what it is I've got the Instagram bios and the follower numbers for a hand-picked couple of islanders that we've had, and your job as a collective or individual, whatever you want, Dan, is to choose if,
These two don't matter.
higher or lower than the next one.
Okay,
I'm so competitive, so I'm going to go as an individual.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
individuals.
Yeah.
Right.
Individual.
Yeah.
We'll try and keep score. Okay, so I've got the first one, Paige Turley with 1.3 million followers. Is Shauna going to have more or less followers?
I'm going with lower. Shauna.
I'm going to say lower.
I'm going to go higher.
Okay, so 1 point to John. She has 1.4 million followers
Damn,
for
boy.
Shauna. Okay, so
love it.
1.4 million for Shauna. Next one is Naz. Higher or lower than Shauna?
Do I get to go first? Because I want to.
Yeah, go first,
for it.
yeah.
Right, lower.
Levi? He's thinking about it.
I'm going to
clearing
say
his throat.
lower.
Gonna go
Lower. I'll go with higher then.
Higher. Okay,
Yeah.
points to John and Levi.
yeah.
Is
Get
lower.
it.
It's not
Get
going
in.
well. It's
He
not
has-
going well here for me.
He has
2 for 2.
478k followers.
Oh, that's
Quite a bit low, isn't it?
well.
I mean,
Not compared to Shauna.
Yeah, exactly. So Naz 478k. Wallace Wilson, higher or lower? Wallace.
Weirdest thing. Literally, I was on his Instagram just the other day.
Did you follow? Because that
No.
will. Yeah, there we go.
I did not follow. What was the question again?
Higher or lower?
Higher or lower than 478k?
Lower.
Lower.
Gotta go higher.
Points again to join
3 for 3.
John and Levi.
Yeah,
3 for 3.
Basically just-
152k.
Just fade whatever I say.
The reason
go
why
again.
I knew it'd be lower,
It's because you were on his page.
not only because I was on his page, but what stood up to me is what Aurel, really clearly, is he's already gone back to personal training.
Oh, really?
Oh, no brand deals.
No brand
So
deals.
he's gone back to his day job.
Giacomo out.
Okay, so Wallace Wilson, 152k followers. Next we have Demi Jones, higher or lower?
Higher.
Yeah,
It's got to be higher.
100%.
She's in the show for longer.
I need some points on the board here. I'm going to have to go higher.
Higher. And Levi.
I'm saying higher as well.
Oh, points all round. She has 685k followers.
Is John winning
I am winning.
by 1
You
point?
keeping count? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm after you.
You're 3.
Is
Okay.
it 3-2-1 or 4-3-1?
1.
Okay, so Demi Jones with 685k followers. Next we have Jess Gale, one of the twins, higher or lower?
So she has an individual account. It's not like a twin account.
No, they've got
Alright.
individual accounts.
Okay.
Higher or lower, Jess Gale?
I'm going higher.
This is a tough one.
I'm going lower.
I reckon she probably had a few going into the show.
I'm going to go lower.
It is lower.
Get
Yes.
Say
Get in!
539k
Oh,
followers.
mate, he's on a roll, isn't he? He's on a roll.
Okay, so
John.
for Jess Gale, 539k followers. Next we have Eve Gale, the twin
Oh.
sister, higher or lower?
Lower.
Lower, 100%.
But then she was out quicker, so she might have had more. She might have been doing bits, doing brand deals on the outside.
True.
But yeah, I say lower because I need points.
Can confirm it is lower. 412k followers.
I was also on her social media.
Oh,
Here
yeah.
we go. This is why we
Probably
didn't,
about 2 weeks ago.
this is why we didn't reveal to Levi what the theme of the quiz
What
was.
you wore last cheek.
Because he would have been on there.
Okay, next up we have Rebecca Gormley, Miss Newcastle 2018 to 2019, as her title is. Higher or lower than Eve Gale?
It's a tough one. She was in the show longer, wasn't she?
I'm going to say lower.
I concur.
I'm higher. Going higher.
Can confirm it is lower.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yes. Some copy of
230k.
me.
200, is that it?
230k followers.
Is
Is that it?
that it? We you know, BTF podcast.
150
on Instagram.
No K.
Higher or lower?
Okay, and then so we've got Rebecca Gormley with 230k. Then we have Ched Azor.
Oh,
Big
Higher.
Ched.
big.
Higher.
The sweet one.
I'm going to go lower.
What's John thinking?
I'm also going to go lower.
Can confirm it is lower. 163k.
Dan, did you even play this game?
Did you even watch Love Island?
No.
Okay, next up we have Molly Smith. Molly Smith. So
Molly-
higher or lower than 163k?
Higher.
Lower.
Higher.
Always
It
a
is.
split decision on these two.
Interesting. It is higher. 443k. 443. Great formation.
So
How
I
many
think,
has you got?
I think that must conclude that John's sort of sailing away there.
I'm free. I'm free up on you.
He's
right?
free up.
Free up.
How many's
Okay.
left?
All right.
I've got two more.
All right, let's
So-
do them.
Let's do 'em.
Speed rounds.
Speed around. Okay, so we've got Molly with 443k. Next up, Callum Jones.
Lower.
Higher.
Higher.
Higher, 747k.
I've got all of them right.
God,
This
finally.
is insane.
And finally, Finley Tap.
Higher.
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 Yep, higher. 1 million dead.
This guy, unreal.
Please don't.
Go and drop it on my hand. There we go.
Perfect. Well done.
Absolutely smashed it.
Well done, lads.
Right. Well,
Before we move off Love Island, can I give a big shout out
yes.
to a good friend of mine, Lily Beck, who did a cover of You Somebody, and she got told that it would be on, that they might use it, and she waited the whole series, and then they used it right at the end for the montage. For,
No way.
Luke T and Shanice, who were her favourite couple.
That's huge.
So yeah, it's on the soundtrack, Love Island soundtrack, and I know she listens to the show. So big shout out to
What's her
Lily
Instagram?
Beck.
Plug it.
Lily Beck.
There we go.
Safe.
Lily
Shout
Beck,
out.
yeah.
We'll put it in the
Put it in the
description.
tags.
Yeah, we'll
put it in
do.
the
Yeah, below.
description.
Put it in the tags.
Tags.
But yeah, we'll put it in the description below. So let's move on then. Let's talk a bit of sport. There was a big fight this week.
Massive fight.
Between I can't think of
Between
an
you two
alternative.
before we recorded the podcast.
Yeah, pretty much actually. We had a few technical issues before the show, and we've been trying to keep these two from actually talking about this issue. So,
Ding ding ding.
who
ding,
wants?
ding.
Yeah, round
Who
one.
wants to go? I'm happy for Levi. You lead it off.
I mean, I think myself and John are pretty much in consensus really about the boxing. Wilder Fury, we've been waiting for it after the first fight, and now we finally got to experience the second fight, and what an outcome it was. I'm not going to lie, I set an alarm to watch it. I bought the fight before I went to sleep, and I slept through it. I woke up at like 6 o'clock, and I was fuming. But to see my Sky Sports notification pop up and see Deontay Wilder had been stopped in the 7th round, I don't know about you guys, but I was really, really surprised to see that he was even stopped.
I was surprised.
I was very surprised.
I was very surprised. However,
That's the sound clip for this week.
I know.
BTF boys surprised.
Was it on the show where I said that I had the dream? I had a dream.
Yeah.
Was it on the show or was it?
I remember. I think it was when we were probably setting up.
Yeah, so
maybe.
I a couple of weeks before, I had a dream that Fury knocked him out in the 8th
Miller
round.
Luther King.
Yeah. He knocked him out in the 8th round, and then I woke up, checked the date, and I was like, nah, that's not going to happen. I did predict him to win on points because I didn't think he had the power. But what a performance! What a performance!
I
He's got to be number one in the division now. I know Anthony Joshua's got the belts, but he's Ring Magazine number one. He has held all the belts, and he never lost it in the ring.
I'll agree with he's number one for now.
Yeah,
But
at the moment, I'd say he's got to be.
I'll be very, very interested to see how the fight with, if it ever happens as well, with Anthony Joshua goes. I think the key to him winning this fight was the fact he changed trainer, and he was able to unlock almost this like different level of aggression, basically, that he never had before. I think before Deontay Wilder called him pillow fists, or someone called him pillow fists. But he came into the fight weighing in at 273 pounds, which is heavy. So what he done is use that to his advantage, leaning on Deontay Wilder for the whole fight.
That's gonna be tiring.
Yeah.
And then not only that, it just means that when you throw a punch, that's 273 pounds behind that punch.
Yeah. And he's probably weighed more than that actually in the ring
on the fight,
on fight night.
Interestingly though, Deontay Wilder came in at career heaviest as well.
Yeah.
So
true.
But his legs look even skinnier, so a bit of an imbalance.
Don't
there.
skip leg day.
Yeah, he skipped leg day for life. Yeah, no, it was a quality. I've actually watched it about twice.
I watched it a couple of times as well.
I would say if the only not a criticism, I don't want to take anything away, but we've been saying for a long time on this show that even when we used to do the boxing round, Dan, you remember, I used to always go in on Wilder because I just didn't rate him. I just thought this was just inevitable. His resume is awful. There's no one in there with any power. There was no one in there. There's an ex-Navy SEALs, teachers,
I've said this before.
American football players, and Dominic Brazil, Eric Molina, and Gerard Washington. Those guys are not top 20 at all, and they're in his last 10 fights. As soon as someone with, and I know Levi said this as well, as soon as someone with any power, any aggression, any skill, like a Derek Chisora, Joseph Parker, Dillian White, Anthony Joshua, or a Tyson Fury, evidently, he was going to lose. He was always going to lose.
Why do you think he's been ducking Dillian White from the get-go? Dillian White's been waiting almost 2 years for his mandatory challenger,
which is unheard of, longest time in history,
and he still hasn't got his shot. So I think it was part of Shelley Finkel's planning almost to try and avoid and trying to protect basically his champion, and keep him, for a promotions company, as business viable as possible, and keeping him away from the heavy hitters. He knew that the weakness was there.
Where does he go from here?
Does he fight AJ?
Who?
So what's the thing?
Fury or Wilder?
Well, I'll say Wilder. Where does Wilder go from here? Okay. I mean, he has. I think he has.
Doesn't he have a clause where he can? Yeah,
I think he's exercised.
He's exercised it. Yeah.
And what happens with that though? Who decides that? Who makes the decision?
So because it's contractually obliged, I think the next fight has to be that fight,
right?
With Fury.
Yep.
And then that happens in summer, I believe. And then after that, then that's all they've contractually obliged to. So it'll be interesting to see. Fury roughed him up. He had blood coming out of his ears.
Yeah, I saw his lip.
Threw him about.
His lip was all over here. And
ragdolled him. Proper ragdolled him around.
I will just say that Wilder completely defends the fight, and he says that he wasn't hurt at all. I've got his post-match interview.
He's like
quote
Logan Paul.
Yeah, I'll read it to you. So Wilder tells Yahoo Sports, class.
Good media outlet.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't hurt me at all, but the simple fact is my uniform was way too heavy for me. I didn't have no legs from the beginning of the fight. He's a wordsmith, this one. In the third round, my legs were just shot all the way through, but I am a warrior and people know that I'm a warrior. A lot of people were telling me it looked like something was wrong with you. Something was. But when you're in the ring, you have to bluff a lot of things. I tried my best to do so. I knew I didn't have the legs because of my uniform. He said it weighed 40 pounds with the helmet and all the batteries. I wanted my tribute to be great for Black History Month, and I guess I put that before anything.
Oh, so this is where he came into the ring, the ring walk thing.
Yeah.
What was it?
It was like
some
big
sort of
armored
Kylo Ren,
type
thing,
like mask, helmet,
and the eyes they lit up, lit up red,
lit up.
Disney.
I personally just think we're clutching at straws.
That's a David Hay big toe.
Clutching at straws. Like when Anthony Joshua fought Andrew Ruiz, he gave Ruiz his props, and he just moved on and said, "We'll go for the rematch." I just think it shows almost the type of person that he is.
Yeah.
that he's already clutching at straws and saying that his ring walk outfit
Nah,
way
man,
too much.
I don't buy it.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't
want to hear it.
Watching that fight back, I mean, if you take that fight in a vacuum, this man does not look like he's got 14 knockouts, and he did not look impressive, did he?
No. He's got one move, and that is a 1-2 big punch from range. Yeah. The reason why he's won so many fights is because people are scared of it, so they stay at range and think, I'll just stay out of the way. But I've always said that if you close the distance, which is why I think Dillian Whyte beats him in 3 rounds. You close the distance and hit him in with some body shots and get him on the inside, rough him up with uppercuts like what Fury was doing. He can't fight on the inside. He can't fight mid range. You have to be away from him, and he's got to time it, and everything's got to be in play. Yeah. And he was able to do that because he was fighting lower tier opposition. As soon as he fights anyone middle tier or above, I
would say if Wilder and Fury fight again in this trilogy rematch, I say exactly the same outcome will happen. Fury will win, and I think finally he can stop fighting bums, and he's actually been found out. He's been found out. His weaknesses have been exposed, and if he fights Joshua, all these hype fans that were saying, Joshua's not that good, will find out if he fights Joshua, the same thing will happen as well.
Yeah, agree. I concur.
All right.
Nothing more to add.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll park it there for the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder talk, and we will head back to football as we do on each episode of the Back to Football or the BTF podcast, as it's affectionately known these days. So let's talk Raheem Sterling.
Yeah.
Greg, you're going to open up the chat on this one.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, with an interview with Spanish outlet AS, he basically opened up a little bit about potential move to Real Madrid. I don't know if you've seen any. You've obviously seen the picture.
Convenient timing.
Yeah, it's brilliant time with the ban on the Champions League and all of that. The uncertainty, we can say at this point, around the future of Manchester City in Europe. We've all seen the picture with him with Manchester City shirt and Real Madrid shirt draped over his shoulders. I don't know what we think about that.
It's pretty cheeky when you're playing for, when you're contracted to a certain club. I think it's a no-no in football.
Yeah. I just think it's typical Raheem Sterling. He showed his true colours at Liverpool, and he's about to show his true colours again at Man City. He's not a one-man club at all.
Yeah.
So I think time will only tell if we'll see the Raheem Sterling that forced his move from Liverpool to Man City, if he was forced to move out of City to Real Madrid.
So I have got the interview in front of me. There's a few absolute Brentisms in there, so I'll do my best to try and communicate that to you. So Sterling was asked if one day he would like to play for Madrid, and he's responded, "How do I answer that one? Is that camera live or just taking pictures?"
Yeah.
Ooh.
No one knows what the future will hold. I am a player and I'm always open to challenges, but right now my challenge is at City and I'm really happy. I have a contract with City now and I have to respect this. Real Madrid are a fantastic club.
He's gone. He is absolutely gone.
When you see the white shirt, you know what the club stands for. It's massive.
No context.
I don't even need,
BTF.
Yeah. You got me.
I don't even need to hear anymore. I think the transfer saga will soon begin. He's been I think he randomly disappeared from the City lineup. I think he was injured for a small period of time, but he started making appearances off the bench. So I don't know if the club have seen that he's a bit unsettled or whatnot. But I think there's definitely something brewing there, and I don't think Raheem Sterling will be a Manchester City player for much longer.
I mean, I would argue that he's a bit of a nomad. I don't think he has any loyalty to offer to anyone.
Like Adebayor.
Yeah, like Adebayor. Like he's a footballer that's out for himself, to make money for his family, whatever. Like, I don't see a problem with that. I just think that I think there is a. When players are that good and they're at that level and they're playing for England and they're a role model and this and that, like I think it's very easy to kind of put them on this sort of moral high ground that they are these conscientious kind of angels that respect the club that they play for. Whereas,
the one thing I would say is every single time he's at a club or any single time he does anything, he receives a lot of stick from the media. A lot of it.
Of course.
So
unnecessarily.
Yeah,
100%.
Could it be the case that potentially he might enjoy his football more if he does move out of England? Yeah, take that.
But I mean, you look at Gareth Bale out in Spain. He's not adapted. They all hate him out there.
Yeah, I think Sterling though. Like, I think he'll do really well in La Liga.
Do you think?
I think if he
Him
does,
and Eden Hazard, can you imagine that?
if he does move, I think roughly now is about the right time. I think Hazard took his move too late.
Yeah.
And I think for Raheem Sterling, if he is wanting to be classed as a world-class player, I don't think anyone's given him that title yet of world-class. I would say he makes that move to Real Madrid and he starts scoring them goals and coming in with the assists and everything, then he starts to get that title. But I don't think he can fully achieve that potential yet.
You don't hand that title out easily, do you?
Nah. Yeah. World-class shows that player is on another level, and it shows that you're on another level to the players around you.
Yeah.
And I don't think at Man City he's on another level to the players around him.
Yeah. World-class, you probably need to be top 2 in your position, maybe.
Yeah.
So you'd look at it like you would make the world 11, maybe.
Yeah.
We say it that.
At least in the debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final point then on Raheem Sterling to go to you, John. Thoughts?
Agree with everything you guys said. I think.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, John.
Fell right into that one.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a better player than Trent Alexander Arnold.
Exactly,
Discuss.
I don't.
Got better tackling stats, isn't it?
I'm actually disgusted that this is even being mentioned in the same bracket. Look, don't get me wrong. Wan-Bissaka, brilliant player. Really well. He played really well at Palace, and at Manchester United, he's not doing. I don't think he's reached the. I'm about to say he's not doing a lot wrong, but the reality is he's making more tackles than he did ever before, even before when he was at Palace. And I think that in itself says something.
Says a lot about United.
He was at Crystal Palace, who are lower than Manchester United in the league, but he's making the most. I think he has a stat, the leading stat for most tackles in one game, which he had 10 consecutive tackles in one game against Southampton. So I think that's. The team that he's in isn't playing to his strengths.
No,
his strengths
I
are
would
not.
agree with that.
No, I agree. Yeah.
His strengths are not playing the ball at feet and trying to find a man. His strengths are merely in defending. If you need that player to make the tackle, he's your guy to go to.
I've never seen a player go to ground like defending. Obviously, like Zaha goes to ground every time he's attacking. But Wan-Bissaka just loves
Lots of tackle.
going to ground in a tackle like more than any other player I've seen in this era.
But if we're making this a rounded debate and he's being compared to Trent, which I think is stupid, we're talking about a player that can do. He can defend. I don't want to hear this debate of he can't defend. He's in one of the
Is
best.
this Trent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in one of the best defenses in the world, and the amount of clean sheets that they're keeping is up there with the best defenses in the league and the world. I don't think we can contest that at this stage.
I've got some stats.
Well,
go on.
go for it. Well, I would say that the Liverpool defence and the Liverpool attack both kind of. I think all the midfield, the defence, and the attack. I almost think you can't judge them on their own with Liverpool. Like Liverpool are so much of a cohesive team that it's impossible to say that that midfield. I mean, I think the midfield probably do a lot of the work to make both attack and defence look as good as they do. But I think it is really hard, and I know that's a really open blank statement that you could say about any team. But I do think that Liverpool just work so well as a team. If you put a different midfield in there or a different front three, would the defence still play the same as they do? It'd be interesting to see the Liverpool defence facing as many opposing counter-attacks or whatever as probably the Man United defence does with the weak midfield that they've got. Pereira or whatever he's called, and Daniel James. Yeah.
I just think when we're looking at Trent and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think what Trent brings to the table and what Wan-Bissaka brings to the table are just at a completely different level. Trent at the minute is head and shoulders above Wan-Bissaka, and I know Greg's going to try and hit me with some stats, but based on performances, based on league positions, and based on assists, what he brings to the table, I'm saying he's the better player by miles.
Okay, Greg, Statman.
Okay, I got some
Stats Life.
Stats, yeah, stat egg. Okay, so Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 24 appearances, 10 wins, 7 losses, no goals. We've got Alexander Arnold, 27 appearances, 2 goals, 26 wins, and not a single loss. For clean sheets, we've got 6 for Wan-Bissaka, 10 for Trent, Tackle success, Wan-Bissaka 69%. Tackle success for Trent Alexander Arnold 67%.
Oh,
assists.
That's poor.
Assists
2%.
2%. That's rough, isn't it? Recoveries. Wan-Bissaka 132. Recoveries for Trent 168. Duels 1.
Wait, what is it? What define recovery?
Recovery would be losing the ball and then gaining it back.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, recovering from being down. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
You concur?
I'm just waiting to put my mic down because...
Duels 1, Wan-Bissaka 161. Duels 1, Alexander Arnold 81.
Oh, that's poor, isn't it?
That's
Duels lost, Wan-Bissaka 107. Duels lost for Alexander Arnold 111. Successful 50-50s, 39 for Wan-Bissaka. Successful 50-50s, 17 for Alexander Arnold. Aerial battles 1, 17 Wan-Bissaka, 14 for Trent. Assists, of course, Wan-Bissaka only 2. Assists, Trent Alexander Arnold 12. Cross accuracy, Wan-Bissaka 13%. Alexander Arnold 23%, but that is comparing Wan-Bissaka's Wan-Bissaka's crosses, 69 of them, whereas Trent Alexander Arnold had 288 crosses. So attacking wise,
just to debate that's got nothing to do with the player that Trent is, but it's to do with the system that Liverpool play.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we play a system where it requires crossing in the ball, then you cross that ball until it's successful, and 23% success rate on crosses, I'm happy with. So I think Greg's stats have done the talking. If I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, I read into the stats that they're both world class. Just
straight at Levi there.
Interceptions as well, I think an important one. Wan-Bissaka's got 50 interceptions, whereas Alexander Arnold's only got 34.
Yeah, because Wan-Bissaka has to intercept, otherwise Man United...
They all have to intercept. That's a game of football.
Yeah, but the reality is Liverpool have a better collective team, so that the onus isn't just on one player almost, or to make those interceptions, or it's not almost a last ditch everything. And with Man United, I feel like they're defending as last ditch at the minute, and with their defence, where it's not a stable defence, they're always changing centre back partnerships. I think those almost recoveries, last minute things that need to happen are rife in Manchester United squad. I don't know why John's looking at me like that. He's getting ready to talk about the next topic.
So the Invincibles. Should we park it with the? So we just say that they're equal players.
No.
Yeah.
On the same level.
I think we should park it in understanding that Trent is far the superior player.
When you're talking about last ditch defending, I think clearance is quite a big one to bring up there. Clearances, Wan-Bissaka has 44, and Alexander Arnold has 57.
Clearances, it does not mean last ditch.
Clearances could do.
do.
You clear it.
Very much could do.
Clear it.
You guys think what you want.
Be right.
I think the listeners, the viewers, the subscribers, they know. You know, I'm not even arguing with you guys anymore.
So if you think Trent is a better player than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, maybe just give us a thumbs up on this video, and we'll see where we go from there. You will never walk alone. Right, the Invincibles. There were some statements made last week. Levi, I'm happy if you want to make those statements again, if you want to stick by them. In front of John this time.
My statement, and I will do it in front of John because I've got nothing to hide.
Liverpool's
current team, as a collective, are better than the Arsenal Invincibles. And there's no question about it.
My response is, that's an opinion. It's not a fact. And you can't say that. You know, Arsenal Invincible team. They done it for a long period. Let's wait and see.
Arsenal Invincibles season record was 26 wins and 12 draws. All I'm saying is Liverpool, when they came second last season, had 30 wins, 7 draws, and 1 loss.
Do you know what? Right? When I listened to the show last week, that wasn't even the statement that kind of riled me up, because that statement I actually kind of agree as a collective. The statement that made me want to thumbs down the show the whole show was that Levi gave the impression that only Thierry Henry would get into that team right now.
Okay.
Which I think is a foolish statement. when you've got players like World Cup winners, world-class players like Patrick Vieira, Gilberto Silva, that would walk into that team in this day and age over Jordan Henderson.
That's cool, but I'm saying
Gigi Wijnaldum.
I'm saying as a collective.
Okay, boomer.
As a collective, as a complete collective, Liverpool's team is better. So in me saying that Liverpool's collective team is better than the Arsenal Invincibles, the statement is true because you're only able to identify 2 players that would potentially even come into our squad.
But they play different systems. They play different systems. They got different managers.
Who else?
It was a different era. There was good
Pascal Sigan.
Let's not talk about it.
I don't think he was an Invincible, actually, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No. Could have been.
Might have been, actually.
Might have been.
He might have been.
Sylvain Wiltord. Better than Mane, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Dennis Bergkamp versus
Bobby
Firmino. No question. Dennis Bergkamp is a world-class player. You know,
Firmino is a world-class centre
Firmino
forward.
the top 2 in that position in the world right now?
In what he does.
As a
Firmino?
false 9 sort of position. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure about
He's
that.
number 1.
Greg's eyebrows are...
I don't know, I'm trying to think in my head
In a false 9 formation.
False 9.
And the work rate and the workload that he takes on. Who's
Bergkamp
better?
didn't have any work rate.
Who's better? In a false 9, centre forward.
Are you telling me Bergkamp didn't have any work rate?
I'm not saying he didn't have any work rate, but he doesn't have the work rate of Firmino. I can tell you that right now.
I beg to differ.
Bergkamp,
we're gonna have to get the stats out and
Bergkamp, you
revisit
think Bergkamp could track back like Firmino does, make the recovery tackle, but then get back up to the top of the pitch and score the goals as well?
in his heyday, yeah.
He didn't do it, bruv.
Oh, he didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
I don't
I don't want to hear. You're living in the past.
I don't know what you're watching.
You're living in the past.
Bruv, I've watched those games.
You've been able to
90
identify 2 players
98,
out of
3. I said 3.
the third one's up for debate because I'm still not convinced on Bergkamp because I can go through that.
4 then. Because I said Thierry Henry, Bergkamp, Gilberto Silva, and Vieira.
Firmino's not even in the top 10 for goal scorers, and he's 7th top assists.
But what he does is not just goal scoring. What he brings to the team is not just goal scoring.
Nor did Bergkamp. Track back, created, assists, tackles, yellow cards.
Yellow cards?
Yellow cards because he's tracking back and making tackles.
Winner, yeah,
Taplow. I would. Dennis Bergkamp didn't like going on airplanes. That's something that we
That's
can
the only negative you can say about it.
factor into it.
Non-flying
when they played in Europe, he did have to get the train.
That was poor. That was poor.
Or
I
a
just
boat.
want to know, run through your Arsenal Invincible team and I'll be honest as well.
No, do you know what? The goalkeeper.
Who was your goalkeeper in Invincible season?
The goalkeeper, Alisson, is a lot better than Jens Lehmann. That's not debatable. We spoke about this.
Don't touch the back four.
I'm not touching the Liverpool back 4. I definitely have Sol Campbell in the squad.
Big Sol.
But he's not. Who's regularly plays? Is it Gomez plays with?
I'll say Gomez. I'll say
plays with
Van Dijk. At the minute, it's Gomez. Last season, predominantly, we'll say Joel Matip.
And was
Sol Campbell's better than Joel Matip.
Yeah.
Did Sol Campbell win the Champions League?
Nearly. Scored a goal in the Champions League final.
No.
Scored a goal in the Champions League final.
I don't want to hear nearlies. Did Sol Campbell win the Champions League?
He's got me there.
Yeah, he has got you
He has
there,
got me
mate.
there. But it's not one player wins the Champions League, does it?
We're talking world-class competitions.
Sol Campbell is a world-class player.
You pulled out of me, Patrick Vieira is...
No context.
No context.
You pulled out of me
BTF.
that Patrick Vieira was... Patrick Vieira is a World Cup winner. So I'm gonna say that
you can have that.
Joel Matip and Joe Gomez are Champions League winners.
I'm going to add in one here, and I'm pretty sure this was a player in the Invincibles. And this is a very close one, and I think it is a huge compliment to the Liverpool player that it's even close. I would rate Ashley Cole higher than Robertson. Only
100%.
Purely based on where they're at now. I think Ashley Cole, over his career, and it's the same point that Tom brought up last week on the show that, comparing Mane to Giggs, you're looking at a fully sort of finished career versus someone that's in their prime now. But I personally would take Ashley Cole over Robertson.
I'll give you that.
So that's 5 players.
I think we should go back.
5 players.
No. Listen.
That's Ashley Cole, Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, Gilberto Silva, and Vieira.
Go back to my original statement. The Liverpool team as a collective are better than the Arsenal Invincibles.
But man to man, not.
Man to man, not. No.
Man to man, debatable.
It's not debatable.
It is debatable.
It's not debatable.
It's 6-5, so technically they probably are.
Maths.
But
No, Lauren,
Maths.
chuck Colo Toy in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. Come on.
Colo.
I just want to hear it. And as well, you left this one out before the show. You were talking about Robert Perez and Mane in the same conversation.
No, I wasn't talking about Robert Perez and Mane in the same conversation.
You were
I
talking
said
about Robert
Perez was a consistent player who got 14 assists for 3 seasons in a row. He's a World Cup winner.
Backpedaling.
Not backpedaling. I'm not backpedaling, but he gets into that team.
bit part player, I think, in that World Cup win. We should probably leave it there. I think we can go on a lot longer, and I'm sure we will after the show is over. If you did watch today, make sure you leave us a comment below and tell us maybe whether you do think that the Arsenal Invincible team are better than the current Liverpool team, and do make sure you hit like and subscribe. And of course, if you are listening on Spotify or iTunes, give us a follow on there. We do appreciate that, and go and follow us on social media. Lots of call to actions there at the end of our video, but we've got to get them out there, innit? Admin, yeah, housekeeping. So next week we will be back for BTF 34. Exciting stuff. Any plans for the week, Greg?
No. I start an internship actually tomorrow. Looking forward to that.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Levi?
I'm trying to adapt to coming back to work after a holiday.
As you do. And John?
Going back to Disney now.
Cuddling Mickey and Minnie
cuddle.
all week long. Okay, yeah, so thank you for watching the BTF podcast, episode 33.
Thank you. Bye.
Oi, oi. Nice one. Cuddling Mickey and Minnie. Cuddling Mickey and Minnie.
Cuddle.
Okay, yeah, so thank you for watching.